I had an idea that would change the world and the way we interface with technology. It'd be a little ironic if a robot arm made me lose my arm. I would be the first symbiotic human. Can the Raspberry Pi 400 replace my PC? No, but I'm gonna. This idea started with me wanting to use the Raspberry Pi for a month, and I also want to do this challenge with other computers, but that would mean I could only make 12 max a year, and that's already way more than I make videos. So I think a week is a good starting place. But what an Raspberry Pi? If you're asking that, you may need the Cliff Notes version. This computer, less like this, and a little bit more like this. Or this. They're made to help kids learn to code and compute. I'm not a kid, and I don't know code, but I do like compute. Raspberry Pi has gone through several iterations and has inspired other single-board computers, but this is their latest version that released in late 2020. Wait a minute, how am I supposed to show you the device and read the script? Huh? Who thought of this? Whose idea was this? I'm just playing. I'll take the blame for that one. The actual device is small and light. Look at all the ports on the back. Kensington? Wow, show of hands, who else has never seen a Kensington key? Gigabit Ethernet, but also AC wireless and Bluetooth 5.0. Next we have a single USB port. This is naturally meant for the included mouse, which has responsive clicks. It's not too loud. Alright scroll wheel, and isn't too comfortable in my larger hands. The real problem is the 2-foot USB cable, which, again, goes here, on the left side of the keyboard. But hey, that's super epic for the 6 lefties on the planet, but not so much for the rest of us. So I recommend ditching this and picking up like a G305 from Logitech. Where was I? Oh yeah. 2 5 GB per second USB 3 ports. Next is a USB Type-C port with a 15.3 watt cable for power. Nice. Too many HDMI ports, full size would have been nice, but space savings yada yada, it's fine. And they include a single mini to full size cable. So if you want your second display, you'll need to buy another or get an adapter. Just next to that is your microSD slot. This kit includes a 16 GB SanDisk card, which is fine for a starter, but I've got a SanDisk Extreme, which is fine for a starter, but I've got a SanDisk which is fine for a starter, but I've got a SanDisk I can't say SanDisk Extreme. But I've got a SanDisk Extreme. It's that do it. Which is fine for a starter, but I've got a SanDisk Extreme 128 GB to ensure I have enough storage to keep me satisfied. Just make sure you're using a high quality and high speed microSD card. This is where everything will be read and written to and from. That brings us to the 40-pin GPIO header, which is for all of your development and breadboard work. I'm gonna stop pretending like I know. I don't use these for anything. This is Google's little AIY, like do it yourself, you know, like DIY but AI. Ha ha ha. I never fully used it because I don't have a bunch of Google in my house. Hey, if you still got like a Nest or like an Echo, get rid of it now, please. While you can. I have a little adapter because the pins on the device are actually flipped for whatever reason, and it splits it off to give you another set to work with. You can even add mini displays. Watch out, sometimes these are like really garbage and like 5 FPS, but you could connect it straight to your Pi 400 right in the back, like so, right about there. But I believe you have to choose between either using HDMI or the GPIO for display, not both, but if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. So how's the included keyboard? Pretty good and responsive. I've typed this entire review on it and the keys are nice and quiet. The layout is fine and expected. Easy enough to work around, maybe unless you need to use the function keys for your numpad. Only thing I could see being an issue is the space bar being a little bit mushy, but overall it's fine. It doesn't get stuck and just sounds and feels different from the rest of the keys. A little spongy. Typing on this at night has left me wanting a backlight, but that's a bit too much to ask for a device like this, right? Backlit keyboard Pi 500, anyone? So switching to this as my main device means a few things. I have to give up Steam games. Now I could probably stream them. I may test that out later, but most gaming may be in the form of emulation. I'll also have to move over all the files I think I'll need on my journey. I'll also have to get all my software figured out because this guy won't exactly run Windows well. Instead, lighter versions of Linux meant for ARM processors will be at our disposal. I'll be using Raspberry Pi OS, which is based on Debian and is the best supported and most widely used on the Pi. Other options are Ubuntu, Manjaro, and OS is meant for emulation. If you've never used any form of Linux before and you're just used to Windows, this can be challenging. But I don't want to hear it from the Linux diehards in chat. Windows carries a lot of familiarity thanks to widespread adoption and ease of use. Linux is powerful, but it's also a lot easier to break when you don't know what you're doing. Just a disclaimer, I will be using the Pi 400 for all my general computing for the next week, as much as I can, so the title isn't clickbait, but I will need another system, which is over here, to run OBS to grab the screen. Because while the Pi can run OBS, it's not exactly practical. This is actually day 2. Let's see how 1 went. Stop! This video is sponsored by Kabuto.
Do you like video games? Huh? Well, do ya? My good friend Howdy has decided to give us all several game codes. Here's one right now. Wow, you wouldn't know what that is. Holy crap. And hidden throughout this video are several more. Can you find them all, can you?
There's 10 game codes and only 10 of you watching, so only 1 of you each, okay? Or 1 code per human, okay, you hear me? I don't care, do what you want. Here's another one, fuck you.
I just woke up. This is the first day of
Wait, I was checking the box for the web camcorder I'm using right now, and I found a cable that I've never touched before. This has been in there since 2015. I've got another mini HDMI to HDMI. That's actually a breakthrough. Oh, frick. Crap. Boom, turn on the lights. Get bright. Motherfucker. Okay, the plan is simple. This is my new computer for a week. Today is Tuesday, December 6th, 2022. That's 2 20s and 3 2s. So my current biggest worry is that I will run out of USB ports very fast. I got 3 right here, but I also got this along with the Raspberry Pi. It's an Anchor USB 3 extension thingy. You'll have to still be careful. This isn't like a save all or a trump card for USB ports. It will effectively fraction off this controller. Hopefully these are 2 different controllers and not the same one, in which case if you max out one, the other may come to a crawl as well. So you got to watch out, because now we have 5 USB ports. We've added quite a few, but I can't plug in external hard drive and another one and then a micro SD card. I've got to keep it under control. I'll keep one ready for any fast transfer speeds we may need, and I will plug it into Ethernet. Got a new HDMI, so we're gonna have 2 displays. At least that's the plan. I'm gonna have to have another computer running to be capturing all this. Actually, the black one is slightly longer, as it should be. I've not had so much experience with any other mouse before. I've basically been using this style of mouse since 2015, so it's been like 7 years. There we go. Okay, well that got my display going. But I want more. I might have mentioned it, I'm ditching this mouse. The cable too short, and it's not a good comfortable mouse. Just not compared to the 305. Like, I tried to use it. I tried. Okay, but now this one. Whoops, don't touch your monitors, kids. You're dumb if you do. This monitor on this side, not stable at all. This entire shelf. I have a gelato. I got it used on eBay for, I want to say like 50, 60 bucks. Okay, you sit there and look pretty while I'll figure this out. I'm the brains of this situation. Hey, I know you've been like really patient and all, but there's like a problem. Oh, it says there's no memory card. 2 minutes? Are you kidding me? Alright. So I've got a 1080p monitor, 60 Hz, and a 1440p at 144 Hz. They can't run at the same time, even if this is at 50 Hz and this is at 100 Hz. Even though you can have 2 4K displays on the Pi. So it's a little confusing, and I think it's because of the Elgato. And I would have the Elgato going through this monitor, the main display, but it's the HD 60s Plus, so it can only do 1080p. I was going to use this for Windows and then this tiny display for the Pi, but it's acting funky, and I gotta figure figure something out. I gotta empty this SD card, blah, 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 blah. All right, I'm gonna boot it up for the first time. It's just a week, I'll get by, I'll survive. It'll be fun, and then I'll never touch this device again. Shoo. You guys ever like cracking up and open a cold crack? Tastes like mother. So this is a stock Raspberry Pi setup. I'm going to check out all the programs, but first I'm going to go to Preferences, Appearance Settings, and for this first walkthrough, I'm going to give the menu bar over here. Alright, so first I'm going to click on the little Raspberry. That's your start menu for you uninitiated. First we have programming. That's cool. Next, internet. So this is the default internet icon, I believe, because it just defaults to going to Chromium if you open this. It takes a few seconds to open up, and if you see it's a little chuggy, that's not just the frame rate of the video, that's actually real time. Moving this around, it's not too awfully bad. There's no snapping. I wonder if there's a way to get snapping to work, because that's such a massive feature. Multitasking so much easier. Otherwise, you gotta resize. Yeah, I was kind of going off on a tangent, just opening random things, but then again, we're just checking the base performance here. Might be overcocked. Might be cocking over a little. Oh, would you look at that? You can place it right underneath. Maybe because this isn't the main display. Just go a little bit lower. There. See, it likes to fling. I'm not throwing it, I promise. Alright. Sound and video. Come with the VLC. Good enough. I've heard there's better options for Linux, but honestly, it's fine. Accessories. Archiver, so like 7-zip or WinRAR. Calculator. I like to see this. I like me a calculator. What? What the fuck is a calculator? File manager, which is the same thing as this button up here. And then I'll open up another tab. SD card copier. You can clone cards, which I may do, actually. I actually think I might do that. Wait a minute. Can I pull you down? Huh? Hello? I'm gonna do this right now. So I'm gonna go from this is my main device to this one. Yeah, do keep in mind this does take a while. It's taken already a few minutes. Alright, task manager. Shows you the CPU usage and the memory usage, and shows you all the tasks that are running currently. We're idling at about just under 400 megabytes of usage. CPU, surprisingly, under 5%, just sitting here. If I start moving my mouse around, you'll see that pick up. You might go past 5 here. Yeah, there's 10. It's a good little test. You can just move your mouse around like in Task Manager and Windows as well. And that'll spike up your CPU a little bit. It didn't really increase the memory. Now this may. Appearance settings. Alright, let me start to lock in what I'm feeling. Except so far the issue is I can't get up here. So I'm going to the menu bar on the bottom. Now I can actually grab things that are spawning up here. Alright, yeah, I'm a menu bar bottom kind of guy. You can go left and right as well, if you so choose. I don't know, blue is my favorite. Not really. Ooh, a black taskbar. That's my black bar. Oh, actually, that might be OP. Bluer. Bluer. Peter. Boy. Peter. Gonna grab lasers. I grab Raspberry Pi logo. Oh my god, that is low res. Oh, actually, kind of like it. That might be my favorite. I think that's beautiful. Okay. Color. Okay, so if you didn't have an image, this is the background color. Oh wait, does that affect this? Oh, it does! It's a transparent image! Holy fuck! Main menu editor. So this affects this guy down here. So you can mess it up to your heart's content. So there's HTOP. I'm sure you've seen HTOP before. Oh, I didn't have to click OK. Oh no, abort, abort. Just like my parents did me. So we can get some packages from here. We can also install something called Pi apps. I ain't done nothing. Ever tried mercenary work? It might suit you. I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. Jarl and Greymane has that honor. Everything's for sale here. Need something? I appreciate how DuckDuckGo's the default and not Google. Thank you. So to install Pi apps, you gotta copy this and paste it in your terminal. I wonder if there's a video editor for Raspberry Pi. Okay, LibreOffice is done. In Office, I now have all of these. And there it is, downloading Pi apps, creating menu button, blah 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 blah. Apps can be launched from the start menu. So I can type in Pi apps here, or I can click it. So if you're used to clicking, you can click and then it'll ask you to execute. So a lot of this has to do with, you know, your own personal preference. Alright, looks good for me. I'll be back when everything is done. Alright, I want to point something out that just happened. So I plugged in my WD Black external drive. I was moving all the files over. It's about 16.5 gigs. I plugged in that USB 3 splitter. It tripped up the file transfer. It stopped right away and it said there's an error. Plugging in another port unannounced while there's transfers going on through the other port, they're probably ran by the same controller and that tripped it or something. Alright, here's the plan. I'm not going to use this monitor. Okay, so I'm going to be removing this monitor. It's scratched up anyway. This thing is so much wimpier. And it does that. Stop doing that. I can do vertical. That's probably a really bad idea, actually. I don't think I am. But I could do this. Oh my gosh, I could consume vertical video so efficiently. I just need 2 more.
Day 2, Raspberry Pi only. Yeah. You know, I used to enjoy waking up. It's like I could go and clean my room or something. It's like I'm about to say something really philosophical right now. Look, here's how you turn it on. Now, I think you can either of these in the F10? Yeah, I guess so. Function F10 and the Raspberry F10. What you can do in the dark, here's a little trick. You can like try and just kind of squeeze the bottom left and the top right of the keyboard and it'll turn on. If you can't see in the dark because it needs the backlight. Currently Pi is rendering a mystery GPU video, which you've already seen, right? Feeling a little toasty in here, you know what I'm saying? It's actually hitting almost 70 degrees, dang. And that is with my 400 megahertz overclock. She's at full blast there, using most of my RAM, 90%, plus a gig of swap. It was at 0 FPS forever. Time remaining still an hour, so I guess I'll be back eventually. Probably about 70 degrees for the ARM chip on there. I've got a little ray gun here. Ambient temperature, we're on Celsius. Here's 24, 25 all around, and then right around here, I bet we could find the SoC. Okay, oh, it's 35. On this side, it's way hotter. Oh yeah, there's the vent. 44, 45, 47, 48. Oh, is it right there? So it's dissipating a good amount of heat. It's not going over 70. Oh, 16. Oh, it did. 70.1. It did it. I lied. Yeah, hour left. 2 FPS at best. That's about it. See ya. Alright, day 3. I got a little itchy for gaming. And I broke the rules. I used a device other than my Pi 400. My Pi 3B! Wow! My Pi 3B was in this little laptop looking like Vilros enclosure. Doesn't have a keyboard though, that'd be nice. I put RetroPie on it and played very little before I became bored again. That doesn't look good. Update to the Pi just dying. Luckily I had another extra SD card with a backup on it, and it's just a base version of Pi for the 400 because the file system is still accessible, so I'm moving everything over and I'm going to reset it and then I'm only going to download the programs I need. Blah 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 blah, it's just taking way too long. Alright, at this point I think I've locked in the software that I actually want. Taking quick screenshots, Commander Pi for overclocking, GIMP for my photo editing, KeyPass for my password manager, Discord so I can talk to somebody and not be so lonely, and Conky so I can see all this stuff. Alright, sick. So, oh, and LibreOffice, but that's it. That's all I'm gonna get on here for now at least. Back up and running. Pi my hole. And one of the force is with me. Sweaty balls. I don't know what happened. I just crashed. Now on day 5,
I snapped and had a stroke. Of genius! I was penetrated by deep thoughts, and that aroused me.
Tiny little LCD hat.
I had an idea that would change the world and the way we interface with technology. But then I scrapped that idea. I took the Pi 3B out of the Vilros enclosure and attached a 3.5-inch TFT panel to it with the GPIO. I was given a great idea by Jalen. Pi Boy. No, not one of those. A Raspberry Pip Boy. Now this has been done already. I just want to put that out there.
This could go somewhere. Attach it to my arm and have a little computer.
Whoa! The idea was simple. Raspberry Pi. Screen. Arm. Battery. I would be the first symbiotic human. Engineering a robot arm to communicate with computers and the world. And then by day 6 I gave up. This is my revision 1, and a V2 would require new everything. A new Pi, perhaps whatever the Pi 5 will be. I would need a better display. The resolution, 320 by 480, is fine once you get everything set up, but this display runs at about 2 FPS. Or is it 2 SPF? This is a problem with cheaper displays, but I know there are better ones. And the battery with this 5200 milliamp hour battery was quite a few hours. I even left it on like overnight and it was fine. This was the last thing I bought at Fry's Electronics. Rip Fry's, big sad, oh no, boo-hoo. I even made a little paper shell for it. It's not production ready, come on. The main issue with this device might be the OS though. I used Raspberry Pi OS and that's fine and good, but I had an idea that I have 2 or 3 panels that contain everything. I need just enough space to open a window if need be, and I discovered if I had more than one panel, anything could go wrong, and suddenly I have no panels. This made me reinstall Raspberry Pi OS a few times. ARM Pi V1, very much a Gen 1 product, very much an alpha, if you will. And with it attached, my circulation may be getting cut off. Then the robot arm could come in handy. It'd be a little ironic if a robot arm made me lose my arm. As for day 6, I slept most of it. I didn't really do anything cool like the Raspberry Pi projects, you see. I didn't make a game, and I stopped editing after my first Pi OS install died. I don't think I stressed enough how bad the experience was, but I decided to edit, hold off on that until I was back on a better machine. Because while it was possible, it was not really doable. Don't get me wrong, I love the Pi. It's super tiny, and it sips power, and it'd be a great upgrade for a John Doe who visits the internet once a month for emails or whatever. Somehow, I survived the experience of lack of x86 computing, but there's still one more day. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember what happened the last day. I was ready to go back to an actual computing experience. I'm pretty sure I just fascinated about the Pip Boy. I'm actually building a software for it. You can see a little preview right here if I show it. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna do this one a little bit, maybe. Special thanks to Howdy for providing game keys throughout the video. If you're a special viewer, you're here already. Here's game key, very special, just for you. So thank you for sticking around, and I invite you to remain sticky because in 2023, I'd like to introduce you to a few more computers that I have. I almost threw up. That was weird.